Fat Tony says, you want to put 5 large down on the over-under on the Pats this weekend, you got to put collateral. Welcome, boys and girls. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for showing up. Paul K, Saturday Mornings Outdoors. Good looking yacht, kind of blocky looking. It's not very sleek, but looks like I got a ton of room inside, that's for sure. This is Saturday Mornings Outdoors, and we're on the Cape Cod Canal fishing for one of the greatest saltwater fishes in North America, striped bass. And coming up will be the fishing report and actual fishing, and a spot check and a couple spot checks at the end. Stay tuned and we'll see what kind of luck we got today. By the way, I wouldn't take the Pats. The party's full on over. That's all I can say. So, drastic difference this weekend. This is the weekly conditions report. It's like 3 to 5 mile an hour. It's almost still. We're working on a west tide, and it's about 78 degrees when I left, and it's kind of sticky. It's very strange weather this year. You know, for weeks it rains, then it dries out, it's like a desert, and then we get into rain, and then it gets cool, and it's kind of all over the place. But still having fun, right? And then, working on the last quarter of the moon. I think the new moon's around the 3rd or 4th. So this is the last quarter on that. Barometric pressure is rising, has a big front, a 2-day front. There's a hurricane that's below us. I forget what this one's name is, but it's sliding towards the east below us, and that's why we got all kind of rains from this system. So barometer is rising at 29.89, and it's overcast. But they claim it was supposed to be partly sunny today, and kind of looks like it's breaking up in that direction. Very, very comfortable. I love it on these no wind days because you can really see movement in the water. You can see the bait. You can see, life in the water. And so these are the conditions. West tide, and it's going to be flipping in a couple hours. And let's see what happens. Some slashes here. Hope you can see it breaking right there. Pushing bait right out of the water. I hear tell there may be bluefish, so bluefish do that a lot. They're pushing bait up against. Now see, remember I say the curve there? This is famous for this, and that's just what they do. They're always trying to trap bait in the easiest way that they can, and a lot of times they work en masse too. Schools of them just corral the bait, and then they hit up on it. That was some really good loud splashes. Really, they were really hitting on it. Bluefish. Surprised he didn't bite me off. You gotta be careful of those teeth, boy. Let me get this guy unhooked. You don't like it. Oh yeah. That was fun, man. They're in close. Those strong fish too. They're definitely in migrational pattern. Kind of strange though, because current's going that way. It's just barely slowing down because it's going to be slack. But it seems the pods are heading in this direction, like they're going up. So basically probably just searching for food along the edge. But they're definitely in there, and they're here. There's a lot of topwater breaking, but it's in close. It's in close. They're trying to push whatever pods of bait. I hope I get a chance to see what kind of bait this is in here that they're working on. But that's fun. I don't know why these kind of days feel so fishy, and they generally end up like when there's calm and it's kind of greasy looking and it's humid. I don't know. It seems like they're the best fishing days. I don't know. Maybe it's because you can see the life in the water and react to it, or I don't know. It's just that seems that as opposed to blustery days that are all choppy. Like this is night and day from last week. Last week it was getting blown all over the place, 25-mile-an-hour winds and stuff. This week it's exactly the opposite. It's almost calm. It's like fishing in a lake, but with the potential of catching a 75-pound striper in this lake. So that's the draw. That's why it's world class. And absolutely 100%. Any moment a whale or a great white could be swimming by. I think one guy landed a marlin in here. That's an open ocean pelagic fish, and he had to release it. I forget if he killed it or he released it. It's a couple of years ago. Made all the papers. Imagine that that's something you got to do from a boat with like really heavy duty gear, but he pulled it off. Guys hook up with giant tuna occasionally, and you'll never land those with striper gear, even the heaviest striper gear. They'll just spool you. There's nothing you can do with that. You might as well just hook it onto the back of one of those yachts. You're not going to stop it. But that's the magic of it. In this calm little lake, it looks so innocent, But there's like a 15-foot thresher shark swimming by right now. You just can't see it. Absolutely 1,000% possible. And I'd like to mention, during last week at Spot Check, I was on the Cape Cod side giving a few spots from the map, and I was across from the Sandwich Fish Pier, which is open to the public. It's a national park, but I will cover all that on next year when I'm doing the mainland side. I was on the Cape Cod side, but it was just using that as a landmark. And I talked a little about it. It's a good fishing spot for anybody. It's built for fishing. It's right over the canal and so forth and so on. So a gentleman, I'm pretty sure, please forgive me if I get your name wrong, Kenneth Davis, and he put out a comment and he said it's free after 4 p.m. and that was an excellent comment. I didn't know that. I know before I buy a pass. It's a state park over there. So any state park in Massachusetts, you have to pay a parking fee. It's not that cheap either. They're usually $15-20 for the day, at least. If you get out to the outer Cape, those are really crazy. So I invested in a lifetime pass, and you can go to any state park. If you can use it like I do, it's free for the rest of your life. It's the best deal ever. So I didn't know about that fact. I fished there, maybe 10 or 15 years ago before I got the pass, and I was paying the $20 a day or $15 a day. And then I bought the pass, and I didn't have to worry about it. But he mentioned, I didn't know that. I didn't know that after 4 o'clock that was free, which is, why would a fisherman fish there before 4 o'clock, 4 p.m.? That's the time to fish. You can fish there in the middle of the day, but you're not really going to do well here. That's a huge key here too. It's like anywhere, stream or lake or anywhere, early morning sunrise till 10 o'clock, and then as the sun goes down, 2 hours before sunset, and then into dark, and all night. So those are the prime times to fish here. But after 4 p.m., which is awesome for us fishermen. Thanks, Ken. That was a great comment. Very useful. I'm going to cover that whole side, of course. Well, not of course. I'm going to plan on it next year. That's the mainland side. I love fishing on the Cape Cod side, and I've been doing it pretty much my whole life. And I fished a ton over there, too, on the mainland. But we'll cover all that next year. Thanks. Local guys rule. So you're hooking your 10-aught circle inline hook. And once again, I'd say it many times, but leave that gap exposed as much as you can. The fish don't know what the hook is. Strange, you'd think they'd be afraid, but in freshwater they would, for the fish so big. But in saltwater, unless you were fishing a Senko or something, but in saltwater, that's it. That's a circle hook. That's how you'd set up a circle hook. And they're in close this week. 80% of the time I'm trying to reach the other side to get in the middle. This week, because I'm looking and nature's telling me, you watch and let the animals and the fish tell you, they'll show you that they're in close, you know, and then stick with that strategy. And fish on. Wow, that was fun. It's lighting up. Well, it's not lighting up, but it's pretty good. You guys see when I'm here, I'm here. I come from the night shift. I sleep about 2 hours, and I try to get here around dawn, right? And then I'll stay generally whatever the stage of the tide is. I have my favorite tides, but I fish whatever because that's the time that I have available. But I'm here for about 6 or 7 hours, sometimes longer. Very rarely shorter than that, and so, but it's because I'm consistent, and like I say, early in the morning, late in the evening is going to be your optimum time. During the migrations, you can catch fish, huge wake right there, you can see it, like 5, look at this, fish slap, 5 cormorants working in the same spot. There's got to be a ton of bait there. You're seeing the edited part. It looks like I'm catching them one after another. Sometimes it does work that way, but not often. And I'm here 6 hours and I'm editing out all the waiting time. Sometimes I'm dozing off. My bait's always out there since the minute I get here to the minute I leave. My bait's out there because that you want that working for you all the time. And it's a simple strategy, but it's probably exactly the same as in freshwater too. Same with ice fishing, same thing. Early in the morning, you're gonna get the good bite. Late at night and so forth. So that's their basic rules of fishing. But some guys don't get it. They might only have available. I can fish from 11 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. And during specific times, you may do well there, because during the migrations, sometimes it's 4 days straight, night and day, nonstop fishing here. So but normally it's early morning, late at night. But good day here today. If you have an inkling, come on down. I want to see if I can get some bait, but they come in spurts. There's not massive schools, it seems. Tons of cormorants. So what you're going to see, hopefully will be bait, but you're also going to see the world of the striper. It's all rocks down there, and it's all every kind of food and clams and just crabs, and it's striper heaven. And so bait's getting low. It's that time of the day. So it's Been a lot of fun here today. A lot of wildlife migration seems to be really gearing up now, and beautifully spectacular day, like fishing on a lake or a pond today. But that's this week fishing sesh, and we'll see you at spot check. All right, all you canal rats, welcome to this week's spot check. We are coming to the bitter end, and I mean the whole end of the canal, and this is pretty funny to me. No swimming, no scuba diving, no hunting, no nothing, go home. Like on the Stooges. But so this is pole 10 basically. That's what they claim it is on the map. This is called Murphy's Beach. Murphy's Beach. And all through here, once again, you see a nice cove here, the trap, and this big good fishing spot right in here alone, just for surf fishing. And then the final is the jetty, of course. It's the last stop on the Cape Cod Canal on the Cape Cod side. And the fishing jetty, the prime spot always, mostly on every jetty, is the very end. But the whole length of it, all kinds of, you get blackfish there, you get stripers, bluefish, every fish that swims. This is the entrance to the canal. So that way is north, that way is south. So you would think logically the migration is going to come from the north, make the bend, and then just cut down the canal that way. And that's the major route of the migration in the fall. In the spring, it's just the opposite. They come from up from Buzzards Bay, they come through the canal, coming east, this is east, and then they hang a left going north. They don't all hang a left, they go south this way. There's legendary fishing spots along the beaches through here, really world-class fishing spots. But this is the last stop on the canal, the veritable jetty, and there's two, there's one on each side. The purpose of these jetties along any canal is when we get nor'easters or the predominant currents, the jetties, the function of them by the Army Corps of Engineers or whoever built the jetties is to keep the mouth of the entrance of the canal open so that they don't have to dredge it every single year. They still have to dredge it, but these catch the sand coming from the predominant direction will be this way from northeast. That's where the current's going to come. It's sweeping the sand in. They still have to dredge it out, but that's the point. That's the purpose of jetties. In this type of situation is to block the sand from filling up the entrance of the canal and lessen the amount of times that they have to do it. And that way is England. That's east, and well, the other side of Cape Cod, but then past that is England. But there it is. We have covered from the railroad bridge in Buzzards Bay all the way to the very end. And I believe that this is the only complete series that has done this. There are a few guys that have shown spots, but this is the only series I think that has covered the whole canal completely from one end to the other on the Cape Cod side. I think I may during the winter or at some point edit just the spot checks and put them in numerical order so you can just watch it on one video, the spot checks. That might be a good idea. So next year we will concentrate. I still love fishing on the Cape Cod side. I'm not going to change that, but I'm going to cover all the spots on the mainland side. So beautiful, beautiful Cape Cod Canal at the jetty. And so, my fine fishy friends, we have come full circle. The whole summer we've covered the whole canal, and we've ended back up at the visitor center. And I just want to show you, I guess because of the amount of people asking for the fishing maps, they printed up a beautiful copy of it. These are what they look like, and if you go in there they ask them. The other ones were on cardboard, but these are fine, and you can see the names: Sandwich, Murphy's Beach, we were just there, Sandwich Marina, Bianco's, Patty Gribbons, and so forth and so on. So the idea with this series is, if you really want to utilize it for the greatest extent, go back to the first one. It's called Fish Like a Local, and it's go where that starts, and after every episode is a spot check. every single, probably about 20 episodes, and it's showing these spots. So you pick a spot on this map, you come here to the visitor center and pick a spot on the map that you think you might want to fish. And then there's poles, these poles every 100 feet, I believe it is, and you match the number. See, this says for Bianco's pole 35, so you drive to the area where Bianco's is and park in the area, and then drop down into the service road into the canal and come to Bianco's just by the pole number 35, and then continue on to fish. Each description I've given is a pretty good description of the known fishing spots that are along the canal, from the railroad bridge on the west end all the way to the jetties on the east end. So I hope you can appreciate all this here. I had a ton of fun bringing this. Next year I think I'll begin to work on the mainland side, and then we'll have the complete collection for all you beginners or people that are just interested in the canal and want to know how to access it, and a little lore about each of the holes. So that's this week's edition of Saturday Mornings Outdoors, and my name is Paul K, and thank you so much for watching, man. You know I love you guys, and like and subscribe, very important for the channel, and had a ton of fun bringing this series to you, and we'll see you next week, and don't forget, say a prayer. See you. So I'm at Canal Bait and Tackle, and what I want to show you guys is the difference in quality. This is a real fishing map, and you can get them at Canal Bait and Tackle or Red Top Sporting Goods. And look at the difference. Just incredible detail. And it's got the only difference between this map and the information I give is, see, these are just numbered, the spots. They name all the spots that I name in a series, but I give you the pole numbers, and that's what's on the video. I'm giving the pole numbers and I'm explaining to you, but that's the difference, but extremely high. So speaking of fishing like a local, one of the coolest things about Canal Bait and Tackle, if you check his website, right, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but he's got the most logical way to sell stuff. You can buy like packages of lures, like these guys know the canal. They've been fishing it their whole lives. They live on the canal. I'm pretty sure they live on the canal. But it'll say like selection number 3, and they'll give you like 2 jigs, 2 middle lures, and 2 topwater lures. And they're proven lures. They're full on, like the best lures. Really, they're not just trying to get rid of lures and whatever they have lowest in stock. These are the best working lures for the time. And they have many selections like that. You know, like they have whole packages you can buy for the canal. It takes a lot of the guesswork on like what the locals are using. These guys fully are the locals. They catch fish, man, and they're absolute legends in the area. So check their website out. Really, you'll if you're coming down to the canal for a couple weeks and you don't really know what to buy, and you want to buy 1 lure or 2 lures, and you're guessing at what to get, I'm telling you, when you see this, it's already pre-selected for you, and they're 100% right. And I give you my word, they're 100% right. They're giving you the right lures to fish. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool and very personalized if you think about it. But that's my 2 cents worth about fishing local. That's the locals do that. And you get a break because you're buying bulk. You know, you're buying 5 lures, so you know that you're getting it less, you know, than normally would be.